What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about Jiri Prochazka versus Glover Teixeira. This one, of course, is for the light heavyweight strap. Glover Teixeira, the current champion. Glover's journey has been incredible. I have nothing but respect for him. That is the Brazilian Rocky, 42 years old, world champ. Respect, respect. But without further ado, let's get into this fight. Let's start with the challenger, Jiri Prochazka. Very impressive, dangerous, killer on the feet. Some of Jiri's stats: 29 years old, very young man, 6'4", 80-inch reach. He's a big light heavyweight. He's a Muay Thai specialist. Mixed martial arts record: 28 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw. Check this out, guys. 25 wins via KO, TKO. Look at that ratio with the big boys. He's lost himself 2 times via knockout. He's a gold medalist in the men's Muay Thai Czech national championships. That was in 2011. Like I said, Muay Thai striking expert. Former kickboxer, former Ryzen light heavyweight champ, former Czech GCF light heavyweight champ. Right now, Prochazka is number 5 in the UFC light heavyweight rankings. Talking about his skill set now, Jiri Prochazka, very cool, calm, and collected, even when in the fire exchanging. If you pay attention to him, he never takes his eyes off of his opponent. That's experience right there. And he maintains so much focus. He's always targeting and attacking where he sees openings. In exchanges, like I said, in the fire. Jiri's a very confident fighter, has a lot of self-belief. You could just see it in his eyes, so evident right before a fight. He is great at striking while covering distance, marching forward. He throws a barrage of straights, looping hooks. Those hooks come at you at a weird angle, around your guard, crashing into your jaw. Jiri is extremely creative standing. We're talking about flying knees, spinning attacks, spinning elbows. Go check out that knockout over Dominic Reyes. Nasty. Jiri has great head movement. He's constantly moving, bobbing and weaving, which makes him difficult to hit and also creates openings offensively. He hunts for those holes and openings. He punches at odd angles again, wide looping hooks, overhands at angles. Even his uppercuts are non-traditional in a different trajectory. Another impressive thing is he can switch stance effortlessly and be just as dangerous power-wise. In the middle of a firefight, Jiri will switch stances while throwing punches at you. That's not an easy thing to do. That comes with experience and a lot of practice. He definitely works on that. He's comfortable orthodox or southpaw. Now, this is relevant to this fight against Glover. Jiri's takedown defense, 50%. Alright guys, moving on to the champion, Glover Teixeira. Glover right now, again, 42 years old, 6'2", 76-inch reach. He is a 2nd degree black belt in BJJ. Mixed martial arts record, 33 wins, 7 losses. 18 wins via KO TKO, 10 wins via submission. Glover is dangerous everywhere. Numbers don't lie, stats don't lie. Glover has had a storied mixed martial arts career. He's competed in WEC, Impact FC, PFC, Shudo, and of course the UFC. He's the 2nd oldest UFC champ behind Randy Couture, another legend, and he's the oldest first-time champ. Now, talking about Glover's skill set, Glover's a very strong individual. Back in the day, if you do some research, look at some old pics, he was freaking jacked. I believe he was into bodybuilding, big time into weight training, had a completely different physique back then. He looked like a Mike Tyson character, bald bull. Glover has very clean boxing. He might be one of the best boxers in UFC light heavyweight history. Definitely one of the best, cleanest boxers in the UFC overall. His striking OSA is probably like 80% boxing or more. He has nasty uppercuts. He knows how to tuck his chin, come forward. He's defensively responsible. Glover will walk you down, corner you against that cage, and drop bombs on you. He's got a good probing jab, a great cross. His best weapons standing to me are his hooks and his uppercuts. Just beautiful mechanics, a lot of power there. Glover has relentless takedowns. I don't know if you would call it chain wrestling, kind of, sorta, but he'll hurt you against the cage, shoot in on you, get a hold of your hips or legs. he latches on and he will not let go or stop until you hit that mat. He's very difficult to shrug off. And once he gets you down on the mat, you're in trouble. He has super dominating BJJ. He's very heavy. And when I say heavy, I don't mean just weight wise. He knows how to shift and transfer his weight. His technique is impeccable, which most likely makes him feel 2 times as heavy. That's what it's like to have a high level black belt on top of you. Once Glover gets dominant position on the ground on you, he will smash you with ground and pound until you give something up, and then he'll tap you out. He has a nasty head and arm choke, aka arm triangle. But going back to his ground and pound, if he just mounts you, he's gonna smash you through that mat. Really heavy handed, really powerful ground and pound. How about toughness? Who's tougher than Glover Teixeira? Like I said earlier, the guy's the Brazilian Rocky. When you count them out, he just keeps coming. He's been an underdog so many times. He's proven doubters wrong so many times as well. That's his will to win. That's his will to win. The guy has a super strong mind. Heart for days. And that's one of the most important aspects of fighting and mixed martial arts. Alright guys, so the matchup. How could this fight possibly play out? Of course, just my opinions. Let's get into this. In this fight, and I hate to say this because I love the guy to death. I respect him so much. And I just said he's doubted a lot. I favor Jiri Prochazka. At some point, Glover has to slow down. He has been slowing down, but he's just adapted his style. He's been fighting smarter, which has given him longevity. He's been also training smarter as well for his age. But the fact remains is that he is 42 years old. Jiri Prochazka is coming into his prime. The man is 29 years old. I think Jiri's more diverse on the feet. I think he's more talented standing. I think he's quicker. I think he's more explosive. That doesn't necessarily mean in MMA that Jiri is the more effective striker in this fight, because Glover could crack. His boxing technique is impeccable. Jiri's kind of wild. He's kind of crazy. He leaves himself open quite a bit, hands low. And those are the benefits of having a more traditional striking style like Glover's style with the boxing. Glover's gonna typically have better defense. And if he times things correctly, he might be able to capitalize on those holes that Jiri leaves open. But that's just Jiri's style. I mean, I don't think he would be as successful if he fought in a more traditional way standing. He's loose and crazy. He's creative. He creates openings. And the proof is in the pudding. Look at his KO ratio. Obviously, he's doing something right. So, with all that being said, I favor Jiri in the stand-up. I think he will be elusive. I think he will be difficult to hit for Glover. It's that speed and movement, that unpredictableness. Glover's going to be slower to me. I could see Jiri running circles around him, popping shots, hitting him at angles, using his full arsenal, kicks, knees, spinning elbows, spinning punches. He's a handful to deal with standing. Now, the ground. Hands down, favor Glover Teixeira. That's the key to victory for Glover in this fight. It's not going to be the stand-up. If he gets a hold of Jiri Prochazka and he's able to drag him down to the mat, that's not going to be good for Jiri. I think Glover would dominate on that mat. I think Glover would do what he does with other opponents, just smash on Jiri, grind him into that mat, do a lot of damage with ground and pound. And if the takedown occurs later in the fight, I could see a TKO stoppage or a submission. But the thing is, can Glover get the fight to the mat? Jiri has great footwork. He doesn't have the highest takedown defense ratio, but Glover's takedown success rate is 39%. So Jiri has a great shot at keeping this fight standing. And I think the key to that would be to keep the fight in the center of the cage. If he gets his back against that cage, if he allows Glover to box him in, that's where Glover's going to have success shooting in, getting a hold of Jiri's hips and legs, and possibly getting that takedown. Jiri has to spin off of that cage, be very aware of where the cage is, keep the fight in the center, where I think he would beat Glover to the punch or kick and pick him apart standing. Cardio and conditioning, I don't really see that being a factor for either guy. Toughness and durability, both of these guys super tough. I gotta say that Glover's a little bit tougher though. That man is a bull. So ultimately guys, who do I have winning this fight flat out? I'm gonna go with Jiri Prochazka. Not by like a ridiculously high ratio. I'm gonna say 60-40 Jiri. I think it's the youth. I think it's the overall skill set standing that's gonna be problematic for Glover. I'm not sure if Glover's gonna be able to get him down to the mat easily, if at all, because Jiri moves around so damn much. But if Glover does, he certainly could win this fight. It might turn the tide of the fight if he's losing. That's key for Glover big time. But I think Jiri Prochazka via stoppage from strikes. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. You guys let me know in the comment section who takes this fight and why. Are you excited for the matchup? Who are you rooting for? Who do you think's gonna win? I want to read it all. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button, like and share. That's how you show support. Appreciate that. And I will catch you guys on the next video. After this one takes place, we'll come back and talk about it as always. Until then, my friends, you all take care. Later, guys.